Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Hybrid Network. DC Luke here, and if you haven't noticed, there are a lot of DC film projects coming at us. So many, in fact, that it might be hard to keep track of what exactly has been announced and what is only hearsay at this point, leaving many fans confused and wondering what they should be excited for. So, to better prepare ourselves for the future, I've taken it upon myself to collect and list every single film that is currently in development over at DC and Warner Brothers. While this list doesn't confirm every one of these films will make it to the big screen, it is here to bring anyone up to speed who is a little confused by the various announcements the studio and the news trades have been putting out. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and just start with the easy ones. Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman 2. All three of these films have directors and production in place to come at us over the next 3 years, with James Wan's film on the King of Atlantis having just wrapped filming and moving into post-production pretty soon, set to hit us in December of next year. Shazam is currently going through pre-production, and it has Annabelle creation director David Sandberg attached to bring Earth's mightiest mortal to life, with the release date hovering around early 2019, April 5th, and it's got Zachary Levi playing the titular hero himself. Wonder Woman 2 was officially announced not too long after the release of the Amazon Princess's film debut, with Patty Jenkins returning to the director's chair for the sequel. It's currently been slated for a December release in 2019, making it the second DC film of that year after Shazam. Suicide Squad 2 has also been confirmed to be in development, being fast-tracked over at Warner Brothers for a release date within the next 3 years, most likely in late 2019 or early 2020, according to recent reports that the film could begin production in March of next year. The only thing we really know at the moment is that Gavin O'Connor is slated to direct the project, so we'll just have to keep an ear out for more details regarding this. In addition to all of this, it seems like Warner Brothers is getting a head start on writing Justice League 2, a film that had at one point been a bit up in the air with all of these other film projects in the works, but it seems like the studio is confident in the face of the great press the new film has been getting, as J.K. Simmons revealed that writers were hard at work writing the next meeting of DC's classic heroes. Alright, now we move into the more developmental phase, mostly through reports in the new slate that the film studio announced at San Diego Comic-Con. So, let's get the big one out of the way, the Batman solo film with director Matt Reeves. This one has definitely been put through the ringer, being the target of multiple reports stating problems in every area of development, from Ben Affleck stepping away as director, to allegations that the actor was out as Batman in general. Now, Affleck seems to be here to stay, based on his words from Comic-Con, but there's still a lot currently unknown about the project. What we do know is that Matt Reeves has signed on to direct it, he's rewriting the script, and that's about it. As we have no idea when this film is even set to start pre-production, much less when it's supposed to come out, so it's hard to give any general ideas on when we could see the Caped Crusader return to the big screen. Flashpoint was revealed at San Diego Comic-Con as part of Warner Brothers' new cinematic slate, with no word on who's to direct or when we could even be seeing this film. Like Batman, The Flash had gone through its own share of setbacks since its initial announcement back in 2014, going through 2 different directors and a script treatment before being pulled from its original 2018 release date to figure the project out. Currently, there's nothing concrete about the film, besides the fact that it's most likely going to be taking after the Flashpoint storyline by Jeff Johns and Andy Kubert, and that a script has been turned into Warner Brothers very recently. Cyborg was also one of the initial announcements back in 2014, slated to appear in 2020, though there's been no word on the status of the project at this time. It didn't actually make an appearance on the film slate that was premiered at Comic-Con, though there's a few films that weren't shown that we know are being considered, so this doesn't necessarily say anything regarding it. Not much to say here other than we'll have to wait and see for after Justice League. Green Lantern Corps was another initial slate announcement, but it has managed to find a place for itself on the new Warner Brothers film slate at San Diego Comic-Con. Its initial release date was set for 2020, but that could be subject to change with this new timeline and on how soon production could begin. Currently, the film has no director, but it does have a script being written by David S. Goyer and Justin Rhodes, with Goyer apparently on to produce the project as well. Batgirl was a surprise announcement from the company, and even crazier was the reveal that Joss Whedon, famous for his directorial duties within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, would be tackling the project as both writer and director. Jeff Johns even went so far as to confirm that the project would begin production next year, so it looks like we could expect this sometime in 2019 or 2020, depending on how crowded things get. Justice League Dark is one of those long-running jokes on the channel, but Warner Brothers still seem to consider it a priority because they've made sure to add it to their new slate of films. For those of you wondering, Justice League Dark has been in development for a long time, about 4 years at this point since the initial discussions of having Guillermo del Toro helm the project back in 2013. Obviously things didn't pan out, but the film has remained a priority for the studio, hiring on Doug Liman last year before he had to drop out due to other obligations. The search is currently on for a new director, but we do know that the script is being rewritten by Gerard Johnston, so all hope is not lost. Alright, now we're moving into some of the announcements that didn't make the 2017 film slate, but they have been announced by either the studio or Hollywood Trades reporting on their development. First up is the Nightwing movie, with Lego Batman movie director Chris McKay on directing duty. Announced back in February, very little is known about when the project will be starting production, but McKay has kept fans busy with his talks on the character and what he'd like the film to be. Following a report back in January, it was revealed that the Shazam movie would be split into 2 separate projects, with Black Adam's solo film spinning out of this. It was later revealed that the anti-hero wouldn't even be appearing in the first Shazam movie, so we don't even know when we'll be seeing the former champion of the gods make it to the big screen. All we know is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be portraying the character, a fact we've known about since 2013, amazingly, but besides that, we're left in the dark, so to speak. Gotham City Sirens is another project we've known about for a little bit now, one that's been hinted at since the release of Suicide Squad last year. While reports seem to indicate that another film replaced this one, this isn't necessarily the case, as Forbes has reported that the film is still a priority over at Warner Brothers. Currently, all we know is that Suicide Squad director David Ayer and screenwriter Geneva Robertson-Dworet are attached to the project, along with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. The other film that I mentioned was the supposed Joker and Harley Quinn Mad Love film, which scored directors Glenn Ficarra and John Requia for the project. All we know is that supposedly the film is set to star Jared Leto's take on the clown prince of crime opposite of Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, and that it's set to be a type of criminal love story, which would line up a little bit with what we've seen at the end of Suicide Squad. Speaking on that, the hot word on the street is that the first film for DC's new standalone label would be a Joker origin movie, one set outside of the current mainstream universe, which apparently sees a much more grounded approach to the clown prince of crime. It was reported to have Todd Phillips in the director's chair, with Martin Scorsese acting as producer on the project, and a different actor besides Jared Leto in the title role. Now, I feel it's only fair to say it here since some fans have pointed it out several times whenever we bring it up. This has not been confirmed by Warner Brothers themselves, this was merely reported on by the major Hollywood trades like THR and Deadline. So take whatever you want from that, but I'd say it's pretty likely that this is a thing. Also confirmed very recently was the news that a Deathstroke solo film is in the works, with Raid director Gareth Evans in talk to helmet, and Joe Manganiello seeming to indicate that he's still attached to the project, being that he was cast for the role a few months ago, but to star as an antagonist in the Batman solo film. There's no word on when this could be happening, but probably not until sometime after 2020. Alright, so those are the projects that we know to be happening right now, or at least are being discussed. Stuff like that Booster Gold movie and Metal Men have had no word since they've been announced back in like 2014, so it's up in the air for them. But as it stands, this is the universe we'll be seeing moving forward, and it's only going to evolve from here. So, thanks for watching everybody. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more of our content. Make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. And if you'd like to show us some support, consider checking out our Patreon page, where every dollar that's put in goes towards creating higher quality content for you, the viewer. Thanks again everybody, and we'll see you all next time.